Hello and welcome into another edition of the Scorching Start on the Birds Broadcast Network. I'm your host, Sammy Miller, alongside your broadcasters, Ian Nicholas and Dylan Pescatore. And the Firebirds are on the road for the first time at McKeon Park since opening day, which seems like it was 5 years ago. But the Firebirds are on a bit of a hot streak with their big 10-6 victory over Brewster last night. So let's first talk about that game. Matt Hallback had himself a night with that 3-run homer in the first inning. Then he said, hey, I'm going to do it again with a 2-run homer in the sixth. How special was Matt last night?
Oh, he was unbelievable, and he was sensational headed into the game too. He was already on a 9-game hit streak, hitting over 400 in that stretch, but the extra base hits were aplenty last night. He only had 1 home run on the year going into last night, and as you said, 5 RBIs off those 2 home runs. Matt Hallback has been so good from the cleanup spot, but if Orleans can continue to get the juice from his bat and they can continue to send a few more over. He only had 5 homers in the spring, even though it was a great sophomore season at UC San Diego. But if this is anything close to the version of Matt Hallback Orleans is going to get over the final week or 2 of the season, watch out.
It should definitely be exciting to see what the Triton continues to do here in Orleans. And the pitching last night was also very strong. Sam Leboki started things off for the Firebirds, the right-handed pitcher from Vanderbilt. Then, of course, Sean Madsen came in and closed it out like he always does. But for me, Ryan Reeses was definitely a pitcher who really set the tone early on in the game. What'd you see from him?
Yeah, Reeses was big because he came into a runners on the corners with 2-out jam, walked 1 batter, but then struck out with the bases loaded the next. He got through 2 innings of scoreless ball. After Riley Fry got drafted for the Firebirds, it's kind of been an audition for a lot of lefties. Who can be that go-to lefty out of the bullpen for Kelly Nicholson in the bullpen? Ryan Reeses is making a very strong case.
Now, one part of the infield that's been a little shaky for the Firebirds has been shortstop and third base. We've been seeing a lot of the Firebirds' errors coming from there. So right now we have Brandon Stallman, Justin Rubin, Jack Penny, and we did have Drew Farreau. So, Ian, what combo do you like at short and at third?
I like all 3 of those guys. I think they all bring you a little bit something different. But in my mind, Jack Penny is your shortstop. I know he started the year at third base, and I also know that he played third base in the All-Star game and was his starter there. But he played primarily shortstop at Notre Dame this past season, and he has been very good at shortstop so far over these last few games. I like him there as the leader of the infield. And as for third base, I think both Rubin and Stallman are interchangeable. I think Hallback is your first baseman locked in, so Stallman can play some first. Rubin hasn't really played any first for Orleans, so I wouldn't expect him over there. I think you could use either guy. In a dream scenario, I would probably say Penny at short, Stallman at third, and also Rubin mixed in there as well.
And today, starting on the mound for the Firebirds is Ivan Romero, the pitcher from University of San Diego. So what is a big key for him today to really come in and set the team up for success?
I think it was back to what Sam Leboki did. It was limit the damage. That's exactly what he did yesterday. 3 runs allowed on 3 solo shots, but exactly, they were solo shots, no one on base. Limit the walks. He had a few walks against YD in his last start. Limit the walks, limit the free passes. If Hyannis is going to hit, which they've had, make them be singles with nobody on or doubles with nobody on. Make them beat you with their bat, not walks.
And like I mentioned before, this is the first time the Firebirds have been here in almost 2 months, so the teams are looking very much different. Ian, what are some of those differences?
Well, there's a lot, and the pitching looks a lot different for Orleans. Daniel Ovidia no longer with the team, the Birds' ace throughout this summer. A lot of pitchers have come and gone. I mean, the starting pitcher tonight, Ivan Romero, was not a Firebird at the start of the year. But in terms of a lineup, not a lot has changed. I was talking with the Hyannis broadcaster just a few moments ago. You look up and down this 1 through 9 order, so many first-year guys still here, first-day guys, rather, still here. So honestly, the Firebirds probably have the least amount of turnover among the league when you look at their lineup, but their pitching staff has completely changed. I mean, even the names that Dylan was bringing up out of a bullpen, none of those guys were here from day one. So the pitching staff completely retooled, still really good. The offensive personnel, though, pretty similar, outside of the Virginia ads in Tuft and Rubin, and then Stallman also working into the fold.
And this Harbor Hawks team is known to have some pretty hot bats in their batting order. So, Dylan, who are a few of those players the Firebirds should be watching out for today?
Well, there's one main one. It's Cam Smith, the third baseman out of Florida State. He's just been on a tear, not just in the past week, not in the past month, the entire summer. He's just had a great season this year with Hyannis. He is an MVP candidate in the Cape Cod Baseball League. He's at third. You can't miss him, the big frame. So make sure to watch out for him. And also Zach York, the DH first baseman from the left side. He had a home run against Orleans in the last time out.
Those are definitely some big bats. And let's get to the keys to the game. Ian, you're up first.
I would say to limit those home runs this time around. It's a Firebirds pitching staff. They gave up 3 home runs last night, but they were all solo shots. They didn't hurt you. So if you do give up a home run, make sure it's not a home run that scores multiple runs. That's kind of an odd key, but they could go deep. And when they do, trying to limit the damage when they do.
Dylan, what about you? What's your key?
Well, Sammy, you know how great my knowledge is when we're talking about this summer. First time here, it was small ball that won the game for the Firebirds. Let's do that again. Bunts, move runners over, find ways to situationally hit to move runners over and then move them in to score runs for Orleans.
Let's see if the Firebirds can get it done and beat the Harbor Hawks today. Stay tuned for a lot more content on the Scorching Start.
All right, let's go to war, boys. You guys can get out.
I'm now joined alongside Firebirds manager Kelly Nicholson. A great win last night, and a big part of that win was your pitching staff. We saw 5 really strong arms. What impressed you about those guys last night?
Yeah, they just really stepped up, Sammy. You know, Sam gave us a good start. Sam Laboki, not sideline Sammy. Sam Laboki gave us a good start. And then, Loomis came in and did a nice job. And Maddie came in at the end and did a nice job. And Rhesus came in and threw the ball well. Honey gave us an inning in the 8th. So, that's a good team over there. And I know their record's not great, but that's a good lineup Brewster threw out there. And I was really proud of our guys to limit those guys. And, we scored enough to win.
And how about Matt Hallback? Yeah. He not only had that 3-run homer in the first inning, then he had the 2-run homer in the 6th. How much growth have you seen from him this summer?
Yeah, he seems like he's gotten – I was looking at his numbers today. His average is up, and he's just – kind of every day seems to get a little bit better and have a little more confidence. And he's putting together a really nice summer, and he's going to be one of the better players next year in the country. So glad he's on our side.
He's not only getting it done in the batter's box, but also at first base alongside Joe Oyama. How important is that strong connection between first base and second base?
Well, they're both really good defensively. Maddie played mostly at third base, if I'm not mistaken, at UC San Diego, and last year at Irvine, Joe played mostly third base. But for our team, it's been better for Matt to play at first. You're getting a super athletic first baseman over there. And Joe's just been Joe over there. He's everything you want in a second baseman. I don't think there's a better defensive second baseman in the league. There's probably not a better offensive second baseman in the league. And, maybe if you voted today, the managers he might be the MVP of the league. So we'll see.
Definitely. And these Harbor Hawks, they're pretty good on the offensive end. They have some pretty big bats in their order. What should you be expecting from them today?
Yeah, they're going to be good. Again, we have our work cut out for us. We have the right guy on the mound in Iverin. So our bullpen, we have plenty of arms down there today. But we're going to have to pitch or they're going to slaughter us again, right? Because, I was going through the notes this morning and they've got some big bats. They're swinging the bat really well, and that's a good lineup 1 to 9.
Well, thank you so much, Coach, and good luck tonight.
You bet. Thank you, Sammy.
Hey, set the tone, boys.
I'm now joined alongside Stetson's pitcher, Jonathan Gonzalez. Jonathan, it's so hard to believe it. It's already about to be August, but how have you been enjoying your time on the Cape so far?
Good. It's been awesome. It's been a dream come true. I mean, I've always wanted to play here, and my brother played here a few years back, so it's always been a goal for me, so happy to be here.
And speaking of your brother, did he give you any advice? I know he played at Falmouth in 2019, so did he give you any piece of advice coming out here?
Yeah, I mean, he just said enjoy. I mean, feed off everybody else because everybody's got the same goal that you got here. I mean, that's my favorite part about it. So, yeah, I mean, I played with him at Stetson, and he kind of taught me the ways, so happy to have him as a big brother.
And you not only played with Chris, but you also played with your younger brother, Anthony, at Stetson. So how awesome is it to have that full-on family blood at Stetson?
Yeah, so, I mean, Chris kind of, taught me the ways, kind of led me into Stetson, and I enjoyed playing with him for 2 years. And now I'm going on my second year with my little brother and kind of following in my older brother's footsteps and giving my younger brother some of the tools to kind of gel in and enjoy the ride.
And take me through your childhood when you were just in the backyard with you and your 2 brothers. How was it just competing against one another?
Yeah, me and my older brother are both lefties, so happy to have my younger brother as a righty. He can catch us, so yeah, we definitely were competitive. We played a lot of garage basketball and garage soccer at home with some friends, and we always competed.
And you truly are a competitor out here. Do you think that time just growing up made you the player you are today?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, playing all sports when I was little with my brothers and all my friends back home kind of just showed me that competitive edge, and that's what I live for now.
And you're coming off a great year at Stetson. Are there any memories that stand out to you about this past spring?
Yeah, I mean, just hanging with the roommates, hanging with the friends, but yeah, just kind of going in there, grinding every day in the fall with my team, and even those hard days, just know that the spring's coming along and it's like the best part of the year. I mean, playing college baseball is just like a dream.
And for a while, you had Dylan Jacobs, not only your fellow Stetson teammate, but also your fellow pitcher out there. How was it having that familiar face that you can go to right away and be like, hey, I know that guy out here all the way in Orleans?
Yeah, Dylan's a stud. I mean, me and him are pretty close ever since he came from FSU, and just happen to have him here, kind of feed off each other. I teach him a few things, he teaches me a few things, and excited for this upcoming season with him. He's a baller.
And speaking of learning, this bullpen and just the pitching staff as a whole seems so close. So how awesome is it to get to learn from some of the best pitchers in the entire country?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I've never really like met so many West Coast guys. So all the guys from like California and out there, it's so fun to read what they have and just learn from them.
And you're also going up against some of the best hitters in the country as well. So as a pitcher, do you think that's pushing you to really get to that next level?
Yeah, of course. I mean, pro ball is a dream for me. So facing these hitters is like the closest I get to that, and I mean, I'm just grinding every day, and I love being here with these guys and facing the best in the bunch.
And on top of being a baseball player, you also are the team barber, not only here, but also at Stetson. So when did you first learn to start cutting hair?
So shout out to Cam Hill. He's graduated now, but he actually just got married. So he was a 6th year at Stetson, and he'd just show up every week with a shaved head, and I was like, damn, Cam, what do you do? He's like, well, I just don't really care, so I just shave it. I was like, well, can I practice on you? So every week, every Friday, I just practice on Cam, and from that, I just kind of like ran into other people asking me and saving money. So it's kind of just like a side thing I do now.
And do you think it's a nice little escape from baseball just to have something like that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, sometimes it's always just working out in baseball, and something just to have a little chat with someone to cut their hair is kind of fun sometimes.
And I know we've been here for about 2 months now in the Cape, so have you found any restaurants that are your go-to spots?
Ooh, I mean, I don't know if it's a restaurant, but Beachcomber counts. I mean, they got some good food. We have a good time over there on the beach. It's nice. I don't know. That's pretty much it. I go to Chibo a lot, get some sandwiches, and obviously the famous snack to get a burger and fries is good.
There you go, some great spots. And final question is, what are your goals for the rest of this regular season and into playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can catch YD here, but if not, we'll be happy with that second spot and going into the playoffs pretty strong, and hope to win this thing. Made it this far, might as well go for the win.
There you go. Well, thank you so much and good luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
That'll do it for this edition of the Scorching Start on the Birds Broadcast Network. Make sure you tune in at 6 o'clock when the Firebirds take on the Harbor Hawks.